Hi everyone, welcome to English Digest. I'm Pat.
And I'm Kat.
So we're looking at our Newswatch article. We've got a couple of different topics. The first one is about childhood toys. What were some of your favorite childhood toys?
Oh, let me think. Of course, I did play with a lot of Barbies.
Okay.
So that actually applies to today's article somewhat.
Sure.
But yeah, Barbies, and I know that my family had some RC cars or like little model planes and stuff like that. And my brother and I played outside a lot because we had a very large backyard.
Nice. Yeah, we had quite a big garden to play football in until we were big enough that my mum said, you've got to stop playing football in our garden because you're destroying all the grass and the flowers. So
No!
Yeah, we had to go over to the park. I had a lot of Lego.
We had that too.
Lego.
Yeah.
And I had these, they were called battle beasts. They were kind of tiny, like animal turned into human figures. So it's
kind of like Transformers a little bit.
Yeah, they were all animals. They had sort of armor on and they had a little patch on their chests. And if you warmed up the patch with your finger, it would show they were either fire, water, or wood.
Oh.
So fire burns wood, wood floats on water, water puts out flour. So you could see which ones would defeat the other ones.
Oh, so it's like rock, paper, scissors, only in plastic.
Yeah, with these tiny... and you could move their arms. They could hold weapons. They were all different animals. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time playing with those. So, But we have a completely different kind of toy in today's article. So let's read through our two stories and find out what it's all about.
Non-gendered dolls break down barriers. The dolls children play with are getting a whole new look. Last September, toy company Mattel introduced the Creatable World line with dolls that are neither male nor female. The plastic bodies don't have oversized muscles or breasts, nor any features associated with gender. These gender-neutral dolls come with outfits and wigs that are masculine, feminine, and androgynous, making it easy for children to dress them up as they please. According to Mattel's research, kids don't want their toys to conform to traditional genders. These dolls, the company says, allow children to express themselves freely. This isn't the first time Mattel has modified its products to reflect a changing society. In 2016, a new line of their famous Barbie doll was introduced in a variety of shapes and skin tones to represent real women's bodies. Not everyone sees these moves as reflecting real change, though. Critics have viewed them as attempts to lure customers with new gimmicks. Regardless of opinion, these new developments in the toy industry are sure to foster discussions on how gender is represented in society.
Instagram bans filters after strong criticism. If you were a fan of Instagram's cosmetic surgery filters, you might have noticed they've recently disappeared. The prevailing photo-sharing app banned them last October. Cosmetic surgery filters let users see how they would look after getting a facelift, lip injections, or other such procedures. However, they generated substantial criticism for influencing how people perceive their body image. Research shows that social media is responsible for an increase in cosmetic surgery. Facelifts have risen about 22% in the US since 2013, while the number of breast lift procedures has increased about 57% in the same period. One research paper has linked these statistics to sites such as Facebook and Instagram. It found young women were more likely to want cosmetic surgery after spending significant amounts of time on social media. Instagram filters in particular increased the participants' feelings of depression and contemplation of surgery. The research also shows these effects extending to other types of filters, such as those found in a phone's camera. More consideration obviously needs to be given to the ways technology amplifies our insecurities and anxieties.
Okay, so we're starting off with our first story today, which is about non-gendered dolls break down barriers. So the dolls children play with are getting a whole new look.
Yep, that is right.
And not just children. Like, I also happen to like playing with dolls or making over dolls as an adult. So I was actually quite excited to see these.
They sort of transition to things that you actually play with and move around with your hands to kind of collectibles, I guess, that you would maybe pose a bit and then look at. You might, I know people.
Or make clothes and hair and new faces for. That's
Stick
what I
them
do.
on your office desk or on a shelf, something like that. It's decoration rather than an actual activity as much.
Yeah.
But I guess if you still enjoy changing them around every now and again, it's all good.
Yeah.
So what happened? Last September, toy company Mattel introduced the Creatable World line with dolls that are neither male nor female. So a line here means a whole line of products there's a name for this whole series. They've all got similar kind of features. They're part of a kind of a group. So you could talk about a new line of phones, which could have 2 or 3 different models in them, something like that. A new line of cars with different sizes and other slight variations. But it's kind of a whole series.
Yeah, exactly. So the plastic bodies on the dolls don't have oversized muscles, which you'd find on male dolls, or breasts, which you'd find on female dolls, nor any features associated with gender. Yeah, in fact, they are modeled somewhat like children before they go through puberty, is what I would say they look
I
like.
was thinking maybe like the kind of crash test dummy almost.
No,
I guess those are slightly
like,
male.
I guess if you were to think of like a
shop dummy,
12-year-old child's body, it's a little bit like that.
Basically like smooth and flat almost.
And genderless.
Yeah, basically.
Like they don't have any specific gender features.
Yeah, like you've just kind of pressed it out of clay. Okay, well, these gender-neutral dolls come with outfits and wigs that are masculine, feminine, and androgynous, making it easy for children to dress them up as they please.
Right.
A wig, of course, is fake hair the person would wear just for fun, part of a costume, or to replace the hair that's maybe fallen out through illness or, some other reason.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't have hair, and they're often made of actual real hair that you would just put on, and they kind of give you a different look. And of course, if the toy has no hair to start off with, so you need to put a wig on it.
Right. Or you can replace the hair, if it has different kinds of hairstyles, you just take them off and put on a different one.
Stick on a hat, different colors, different sizes, lengths, shapes, and all the rest.
Yeah. So they come with outfits and wigs that are masculine, feminine, and androgynous. Now, these 3 terms kind of all go together, but the first one we're going to look at is masculine. Masculine basically means male-like or man-like. So it doesn't mean that you are a biological man if you are masculine. You could be a masculine girl or a masculine non-gendered person. It just means that you dress in a style or you have certain characteristics that are more male-like, like maybe
a deeper voice,
deeper voice, shorter hair,
broader shoulders,
strength instead of lightness, or like, certain styles of clothing like heavy boots, things like that.
Yeah, I would guess so. Feminine, of course, would be traditionally associated with female, physical or other characteristics like that, whereas androgynous would be not having the appearance of either binary gender or kind of a mix of both.
Yeah. And I really like androgynous, the word, because andro means man and gyno means woman. So you have androgyno, which means man-woman.
Okay, so there is the kind of derivation of that word. So it basically means that these are clothes that, think of pants. Men can wear pants, women can wear pants, anyone can wear pants.
And t-shirts.
Yeah, those kinds of clothes are not associated with either gender particularly. A dress is typically associated with women. I guess a business suit a little more with men traditionally. Those kind of older definitions are falling away.
Neckties.
Yes, you don't see as many women wearing neckties.
Yeah. But anyway, so we've got these gender-neutral dolls. And why did they decide to make these? Well, according to Mattel's research, kids don't want their toys to conform to traditional genders. Now, when they say they don't want them to conform to something, when you usually conform to something, it means that you're kind of obeying a rule, whether that rule is explicitly said or it's more just one that everybody knows and doesn't talk about. So traditional genders would be, male and female or masculine and feminine, so that if they conform to traditional genders, they would be one or the other. But kids want them to not really be one or the other, but to be maybe all of them.
Yeah, it can basically be whatever they feel like playing with on that particular day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you wake up and you feel more masculine, you can make your doll more masculine. You wake up and feel more feminine, you can make your doll more feminine.
Yeah, basically just so they have the freedom to do what they want with them rather than being, okay, this is only this. Okay, well, these dolls, the company says, allow children to express themselves freely, which is exactly what we just mentioned. Like, they don't have to go, okay, this is, Ken, to use the Barbie example.
Yeah.
He's
Barbie's
wearing
boyfriend.
he's wearing a tennis outfit and he's got his tennis racket. And we go, no, this doll can be anything we feel like putting on it. It's all about the clothes and the hair. Whatever we put on it, that's what it is today. And it doesn't kind of limit their imagination. They can do what they want with it.
Exactly. Now, this isn't the first time Mattel has modified its products to reflect a changing society. That's true that this toy company, among, several others, tends to kind of release things that they see as being important in society as it is happening, especially because kids change their minds and their values a lot according to, how old they are, what their parents believe, what their peers believe.
Yeah, what they see on TV, that kind of thing. So here's the example we give. In 2016, a new line, to use that word again, of their famous Barbie doll was introduced in a variety of shapes and skin tones to represent real women's bodies. So curvier Barbies, slimmer Barbies.
Tall Barbies.
Yeah, like
short Barbies.
Barbies of every different ethnicity.
Yep.
Long hair, short hair, whatever you feel.
Exactly. So they had a much bigger variety instead of just your typical tall...
White blonde Barbie.
White blonde supermodel Barbie. Yeah. Not everyone sees these moves as reflecting real change, though. So some people think that maybe, they're just kind of doing this for maybe ulterior motives, which means like hidden reasons. Critics have viewed them as attempts to lure customers with new gimmicks. So when we say lure, that's kind of a word that means they're trying to draw them in. If you're going fishing and you put some bait on a hook and put it in the water, you're trying to lure the fish. It's a word with a little bit of a negative association.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're trapping someone, you're saying, hey, come in, take this nice thing, and then you've trapped them.
Aha, I've got you.
Yes, they're saying that the customers are being lured, being trapped or tricked with these new gimmicks. A gimmick is a trick or interesting feature that's designed to attract public attention, public comments, interest, customers, basically. It's like, oh, this is new. And I can kind of see the critic's point here. I mean, this is just like, okay, we want people to buy more of our products, so let's have numerous different ones that people can buy. Whether it's this is Barbie, she's got a new car, a new dress, a new house, or this is new doll that's non-gendered, this is a doll you can make whatever you like. So there may be a little bit of truth in that, but to be honest, I can't see why one thing can't be both things.
Exactly.
Like, it reflects society and it sells more products.
Right. And, that's what I think a lot of consumers want these days.
Yeah, I mean, the company aren't going to deny the fact that they are a business and they need to make smart business decisions. And you could say they're doing it to reflect society and also to avoid criticism, which has been leveled at Barbies in the past. Like,
absolutely.
These don't represent real people. These create a false beauty standard. So, Barbie is showing that, no, we're being toys for everyone. Some people will still want the blonde, skinny Barbie.
Yeah, and they're still selling those.
Yeah. So it's kind of giving everybody a choice. And if that makes money, great, they can keep doing it.
Exactly. So, gimmicks are usually thought of as negative things, but, they do have a purpose.
Yeah, and it's not like they're really tricking anybody. It's not like it's a fake non-gendered doll.
Yeah, it's not like, this is actually gendered, but we're hiding it.
Like, no one's losing out in this situation, really. Okay,
right.
Well, let's move on to the final sentence of this first story. Regardless of opinion about whether these are kind of reflecting real change or just gimmicks, these new developments in the toy industry are sure to foster discussions on how gender is represented in society. The word foster here is being used as a verb, and it means to help something grow or develop. It kind of like we've got something, and by fostering it, we're kind of making it bigger, we're giving it a chance to live, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
We often think about it to do with foster children, where parents adopt a child and raise them, even though it's not theirs, and kind of let that child grow.
Yeah, exactly. So they give the child a home so that they can grow properly even though their real parents are not there to take care of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of the first of our 2 news stories. We'll take a short break and then we'll be back with our second one.
Okay, we're on to our second story here, which is Instagram bans filters after strong criticism. Now this, like the first story, also kind of has to do with appearance and beauty standards and that kind of thing, but a little more directly. If you were a fan of Instagram's cosmetic surgery filters, you might have noticed they've recently disappeared. So I guess they had these filters for a while, and filters are basically kind of a program that an app puts over a camera or over the image that is projected on a camera to make the person look a certain way. Like it will find your face and it will do something to it, like maybe it'll give you cat ears. Or,
Yeah, you look like a dog, turns you old, turns you baby-like, puts funny effects on.
Yeah, exactly. That's a filter, or that's what we're talking about in terms of camera filters.
Yeah.
Now, cosmetic surgery filters, or cosmetic surgery itself, is when you get surgery to look a certain way or to look different, usually to look what you would term more beautiful.
Yeah, there are kinds of cosmetic surgery that can do things like if you burn your skin or suffer damage, then it kind of repairs that. But other types of cosmetic surgery are people who get things done just to change their image because they want to. Not for any medical reason.
Right.
The word or the phrase plastic surgery used to be used, but it's kind of fallen out of favor. People have started to use cosmetic surgery.
Well, and I think cosmetic surgery tends to be more about people who just want to change their face rather than having any medical need, like you said.
Yeah.
Whereas plastic surgery can kind of cover both.
Okay, that's a good point. So we then talk about these filters on Instagram, and we see the prevailing photo sharing app banned them last October. Here we're using the word prevailing to mean having the most influence or appeal. It's basically the number one, the big one.
Yes.
If you think about, I have photos, I want to share them, Instagram is probably the first place you're going to go.
Yes.
Facebook, of course, you can, but Facebook is also messaging. It's also sharing.
Sharing,
it's a lot of other things, although mostly seems photos is what I see these days.
Yeah, I guess I see a lot of people sharing news.
Yeah, whereas Instagram is like, I have photos or short little video clips, and that's what I'm sharing.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's why they have more filters on Instagram, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what about these cosmetic surgery filters? What do they do? Cosmetic surgery filters let users see how they would look after getting a facelift, lip injections, or other such procedures. Oh, just thinking about that sounds painful.
Right.
Especially the first one, a facelift. Now, facelift...
It tightens the skin, basically.
Yeah,
it removes wrinkles. It makes you look younger. It just kind of... As you get older, your skin gets what we call more elastic.
Yeah.
It kind of starts
it
to
kind of starts
go
to
down.
sag.
Yep, you get more wrinkles around your eyes, around the side of your mouth, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so especially like people who are middle-aged or older might go through facelift, which is where the sides of their face are basically pulled closer to the back of their head.
Yep, so your skin looks tighter and younger. Whereas lip injections, this is when somebody would inject, or a doctor would inject something into your lips to make them look kind of thicker, fuller, poutier, that kind of thing.
Yeah, usually something like collagen or some kind of thing that would make your skin feel bouncier and make your lips look bigger.
Yeah, an injection is anything where a needle is used to put something into something else. You often think of getting like vaccinations, you'd get an injection to make you safe from a disease. You could get other kinds of medicine injected into you. That's using the verb to inject. People inject things into other things as well. I think you inject things into food types to make them look kind of juicier or bigger or something like that.
Yeah. Or even you could use it figuratively to say you inject yourself into a conversation, which means you kind of put yourself in there.
Shove yourself in there like you're a needle. Okay, so those are two kinds of cosmetic surgeries, and there are other such procedures as well, and that's what these filters do. But However, as the article says, they, that's the filters, generated substantial criticism for influencing how people perceive their body image. Substantial means a large amount, basically a great deal of something. It could be a large number, it could be just one thing that's very large in size, but it's basically big.
Yeah, absolutely. It's significantly big. It's noticeably big.
Yes.
Yeah. So research shows that social media is responsible for an increase in cosmetic surgery. Yeah.
Okay, so people have checked this out, and it does check out.
Yeah, like it's not just that people say social media is, bad and
affecting people, yeah.
It's actually research has been done that does show this.
Yep, so we've got some figures to look at here. Facelifts have risen about 22% in the US since 2013, while the number of breast lift procedures has increased about 57% in the same period. So breast lifts, kind of the same idea as what you're doing with your face to make your breasts look higher, could be larger, basically. Just, again, there's something that starts to go down as women and men, sadly, get older.
Yeah, that's true. Like, everybody's breasts get saggy as they get older, and it's just kind of a natural part of life. But if you can't accept that and you think, like, I want my breasts and my face to look very young and, like, I'm, full of life, then that might be something that you would do.
Yeah, I think breast lift procedures is probably also used to mean like making them just bigger, even if it's nothing to do with age.
Breast implants.
Yeah, I think it's probably the whole set is probably covered in this. I imagine in this 57%, it includes making them bigger as well as making them higher.
Yeah, and
Sounds
often
they
slangily call it a boob job.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
So, one research paper has linked these statistics to sites such as Facebook and Instagram. It's our two main culprits that we were talking about.
Yep.
So, it sounds like they are kind of responsible for this big increase in plastic surgery or cosmetic surgery procedures.
Yeah, the research found young women were more likely to want cosmetic surgery after spending significant amounts of time on social media. Again, significant means a lot, a great deal. So if you spend a lot of time particularly looking at other celebrities or even looking at other people and thinking, oh, that person is prettier than me, that person looks younger than me, that person has got a better body than I have, all that kind of stuff, which seems like young women are more likely to, I think especially teenagers, impressionable people.
Or young 20-somethings.
Exactly, people who haven't maybe necessarily grown comfortable with their own bodies as much, they are likely to want cosmetic surgery because they're seeing things or people that they believe are more attractive than they are.
Right, and usually these people aren't actually more attractive than the average person. They know how to pose, they know how to edit their photographs.
Right.
So they can make themselves look amazing, but just through tricks, basically.
Yeah, or even, sure, there are a lot of models on Instagrams. There are celebrities, but they are celebrities who have the good fortune to be born beautiful or have the time and money to get, like lots of exercise and eat right, which not normal people always can't.
And that's their job, basically.
Exactly. If they weren't, they wouldn't be on Instagram as models. So trying to compare yourself to famous people like that is a stupid idea. Don't do it.
Remember to love yourself first.
Yes, they have advantages that you don't. And, no matter what you do, it's not going to quite make up for that. You've got things that they don't have as well.
Like freedom to not post every day?
Exactly. Okay, so we've said Facebook and Instagram were responsible. We see that Instagram filters in particular increased the participants' feelings of depression and contemplation of surgery. Contemplation is the act of thinking deeply about something. So we're not saying people are looking at pictures of other, younger women and going, oh, I kind of would like that. That's not contemplation. Contemplation is spending a lot of time thinking, no, you know what? This is something I really need, and it's an idea that I'm going to keep thinking about, and it's something I'm going to consider all the pros, the cons, the advantages, the disadvantages. I'm really going to think about how it could improve my life and just spend a lot of time dwelling on this particular idea.
Right, and you probably end up Googling like clinics and
how much
and the effects and sort of things like that.
Should I get, that kind of thing.
Now, the research also shows these effects extending to other types of filters, such as those found in a phone's camera. That's true. When you use your camera app on your phone, they also tend to have a lot of filters these days.
Yeah, and there'll be even things that like make your skin look clearer, that kind of thing, make your skin look a different color.
I always think of the
sort of stuff.
The snow app. It can basically make you look like, I would say, a Chinese goddess.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It makes your skin look very, very white. It can totally change your facial features. It's not realistic, but if you're okay with yourself, it's a little bit fun to use.
But yeah, it could be if you're vulnerable to that sort of body image kind of worries, then yeah, best not probably. I just think of the filter that swaps your face with another person's face, and it's just horrifying.
That is always so
scary.
funny. Yeah, anyhow.
But that's a filter. So we conclude this story by saying more consideration, so more thought, obviously needs to be given to the ways technology amplifies our insecurities and anxieties. So to amplify something means to increase the size or the effect of something. So if you're already a bit down on your body image, you're a bit worried about how you look, Instagram, Facebook, all these filters, all these kinds of technology are likely to make those feelings bigger and stronger.
Absolutely.
Because you're always comparing yourself to people, as I said, who you really shouldn't be comparing yourself to.
Right. Yeah. You can see people as inspiration or you can be jealous of them. And I think, you have to kind of think on how you are perceiving yourself in terms of how you see other people too.
Yeah. I mean, most of what's on social media is kind of carefully posted to give the best possible image. It's not real life. So comparing yourself to that is not. It's like comparing yourself to a movie star. Like they're in a movie. They've got makeup artists. They've spent days getting that look right.
Yeah.
You don't have that. You don't have a trailer.
Yeah.
So why compare yourself to how someone looks in a movie? It's the same on Facebook or Instagram.
It's just in a new format, and I think people perceive it as being more real because people are supposedly posting about their real life.
Right.
But actually, it's more like a TV version of their real life.
Yeah, it's like a small snapshot of the best bits of your real life. And of course, people who are insecure or not kind of secure and confident or anxious, they have anxieties. Anxiety is the noun form of anxious.
Yes.
Then you will find that these feelings get stronger on Facebook and Instagram if you're kind of looking at these filters, looking at these photos, and worrying about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Don't. Don't compare yourself to people like that.
Yeah.
It's my view, but there you go.
Nobody's ever going to be perfect. Even the people who do post these things have a lot of probably insecurities and anxieties about their bodies.
Yep.
But they just don't tell people.
Yes, they're not going to share them on Instagram.
Yeah.
Unless that is why they're sharing them on Instagram, of course.
Yeah.
But that's a different thing altogether.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that is the end of our Newswatch article. Thanks for listening, everybody. For English Digest, I'm Pat.
And I'm Kat.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.